All right, we're live. I'll just start off with this. I don't think you have to feel bad anymore about Kyle Larson getting fucked over at Kansas because he probably wouldn't have made the championship race anyway, looking at his performance.
Well, yeah, I mean, if he didn't have four DNFs in a row,
Yeah. Although I
and he
think,
had a winning car at Phoenix, I
oh, he
think. I
did.
mean, but it doesn't fucking matter when your engine blows before stage one. Or no, it was after stage
It
one.
was straight after stage one.
If he won.
In the case of like Texas, I mean, what was it? Some of his picker was suspicious that he wrecked on purpose because he was getting screwed over by penalties throughout the race. You think? Do
Yeah.
you think he's probably tanking it like Desert Storm?
No, Phoenix was just bad luck. And so was Kansas.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I think he'll be on his A game for Homestead, but I swear to God, if he gets another engine failure,
yeah, just win it and then
I'm just
screw it. Yeah, win the. Just make sure that the guy who, because I so desperately want to see a non-chaser win this race. Just so we're forced to watch somebody who finishes
yeah.
second or third. Take home the title. Just to ultimately prove what a joke this fucking system is.
Yeah. Well, I think actually, if the comments are any indication under a lot of NASCAR videos now, most people are becoming aware of how ridiculous it is.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Which is surprising that it took them 3 years because, quite frankly, I spotted it straight away. Like in 2013, when there were rumors about this format, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I was aware of it like right before 2014. I'm like, really? This is what we're doing now? I mean, I was gonna give it a shot because like it was new. I wasn't like that into it. And then I saw it in practice. I'm like, wow, this is a really shitty way to run your postseason. It shouldn't even be a fucking postseason.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
But
know. It depends. I mean, if Truex gets screwed over at Homestead,
I'll
I
laugh.
think I think there's a real possibility that they'll revise it dramatically
Oh, I know.
because a lot of people are going to be they're not even Truex fans, but almost everyone agrees Truex deserves the championship.
Just because
I
he's
mean,
been
because
dominant all damn year
right, I
long.
mean
Yeah.
he's got his mile and a half average finish is like second. Like I mean he's had one of the best seasons anybody's had in a long time. So if he doesn't win it, that really speaks poorly of this championship
He'll
process.
he'll blow an engine while leading by
Yeah,
5 seconds with 15 laps to go.
yeah. I
Just
mean,
waiting
it's
on that.
entirely possible.
I don't know.
But
So not. I don't know. Obviously, if I have to rant one thing, it's fuck this stupid system and fuck Denny Hamlin because yeah,
oh man,
I'm
I
still
actually
bitter about
laughed.
Martinsville.
Yeah, I actually laughed when that happened because like I stopped watching the race for a while and I turned it back on. And I saw Chase Elliott was leading with like 50 to go, and I was like, what's gonna happen this time? Like something always happens, and then he like muscled his way past Brad and was like looking good, and then he just out of nowhere just gets completely wrecked
And that was like that.
without any prelude to it, just completely dumped by Hamlin. I was like,
Yeah,
wow, I didn't see that coming.
yeah. What made that race pretty exciting though was the fact that it was a last lap pass by Kyle Busch. Like a last lap pass at Martinsville is a pretty rare thing to see.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of the 2007 spring race, or was it 2007 or
Yeah, yeah, the Johnson Gordon. Yeah, that was a close one.
no? It was one where Hamlin won. I think it was
That was 2000.
2007.
I think that was 2008.
Okay, might have been where like
He,
Hamlin restarted like seventh or something, and just everybody kept punting the leader out of the way in every corner.
that was 2010. Sorry. He
Mm,
won in 2008 at the spring race in Martinsville by holding off Jeff Gordon, but 2010 was when everybody got punted out of the way.
yeah, I all I remember was like the car of tomorrow. Um, but yeah, that's the last time I've seen a Martinsville race end like that.
Freaking Ryan Blaney taking everybody out.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm really debating whether I'm even going to watch the race. I'll probably just check who's leading every 30 laps, and if I see
I'll
Larson's actually in it, and his engine hasn't expired, then I might tune in. But
I'll probably watch it well, assuming I don't fall asleep because I still have to work Saturday night. So I'll try to set my alarm. I don't care how tired I am. I just want to watch it just to see it fail. I really so desperately want this to be just a complete fuck up like last year, so that it'll force them to change the format for the better. Although I don't know if I don't know if I have any faith in Brian France. I'm kind of worried he's just gonna come up with the worst idea. He'll be like, "Yeah, I've heard your concerns, fans. We found a way. We've changed the formats. Now every race is an elimination race." All
yeah, now the final race is at Talladega. I don't know. I mean, what they. I mean, if I don't thing is, I don't really see them dropping an elimination format entirely. I just see them revising it. And a sensible thing to do if you have to have a playoff format would maybe be give like the regular season champion an automatic spot at Homestead. So like after Richmond, whoever's the points leader is automatically locked into Homestead or something like that. Because then I don't know. But I mean, even then, there's still so many possibilities for things going wrong that it's kind of silly.
are there going to be? I don't know, because I haven't been paying that much attention. Are there going to be stages at Homestead? Because there's really no point of
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
There's literally no purpose to having the stages at
yeah.
Homestead.
I
There's
know.
I
It's dumb.
don't. Oh my God.
It's just to create more cautions and restarts.
Fucking NASCAR. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
this
God.
season really, I think it's a make or break season for a lot of fans because Junior's retiring, and there are going to be a lot of indignant people, regardless of the outcome, really, but especially if like Truex gets screwed over, which it's very likely. I mean, the guy who's been, as far as I can remember, the guy who's like been the most consistent all year doesn't win the championship or never has in this format. So, and that's him.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. So I guess after everything that happened at Martinsville, Texas wasn't really as exciting of a race as I thought it was going to be, but it had a surprising result with Harvick on top. I don't think I expected Harvick to. I don't think I predicted Harvick to make it to the final four.
Yeah, I didn't either, but I don't. He's strangely been strong at Texas recently and
But
Kansas.
he did good. He got top fives in all five in all three races in the round of eight.
Yeah, he did really well. Um, which I don't know. I don't see him being much of a threat at Homestead, but then again, didn't see Jimmy Johnson being a threat last year, and so I
Yeah.
don't.
No,
There's
speaking.
really no calling it. I mean, this thing it's going to come down to like 30 late race restarts.
Yep.
Just whoever doesn't get wrecked is going to be the champion, basically.
Yeah. And then, because I like to review everything that happened, it's really not much to talk about regarding Texas, except maybe for the fact that Jimmy Johnson had a 27th place finish. You know, the guy who's been
Yeah,
dominating
he was
Tech.
like laps down. If I remember.
Yeah, he was. And then he had the wreck at Phoenix. That was at least some relief. It's nice to
Yeah,
see. Yeah. Boy, what a letdown
yeah,
like the entire second half of this season was for him. He had three wins this season up until Dover. I thought he was a legitimate threat, to maybe get four or five more wins throughout the year. Probably be in the final four. That was my thought of mine. So I turns out I was wrong. Complete meltdown, which is good.
yeah. And I said it before, but I think this will be the first time in his career he never won a race in the chase, assuming he doesn't win Homestead, which is unlikely given how slow he's been.
Yep. Maybe
So
he'll win
that's
on
pretty
maybe he'll
interesting.
win maybe he'll win on bullshit again.
I doubt it. I mean, that only happened because he was in the chase or he
Yeah,
was in the final four. They're not gonna
and
kind
they
of rig it in favor of a random person.
totally cut him. Totally got bullshit how he jumped the restart. I mean, that was
Yeah,
what a bigger
it's what
bullshit.
they do. I mean, they did it at they they don't I don't know. They the chase guys have the final four have like such an advantage in this race. I mean, their cars are probably all illegal. In fact, I'm almost sure of it. And I mean, because there's no post race penalties. Like what are they gonna? They're not gonna encumber a championship. So it's just like they bend the rules so much just to make it exciting because I think they're terrified of like a non-chase guy winning this race because then that sort of ruins the whole idea of having game seven moments as Brian France you know explained it.
Um, and all right. And then yeah, the Phoenix race, which well, that was a lot of things. Again, Johnson crashing was nice. Hamlin crashing was also nice. That was good. Even though Elliott wasn't able to hold off Kansas, I was satisfied just knowing that he took Hamlin out. That's all I wanted to see.
Yeah, yeah, and it'll be nice knowing that I never have to see Matt Kenseth win a race again. So
Yeah, probably. It's nice to see. Luckiest person in the world probably is Brad Keselowski. He was going to lose it to Hamlin, and he had Hamlin probably stayed in, probably would have, and would have lost it to Elliott if Kenseth didn't pass him. I guess Kenseth can be good for something for the same guy who tackled him at Charlotte 3 years ago is the guy that essentially puts him into the chase.
yeah, um, yeah. Although Kesel, the outlook looks very bleak for him because he barely made his way in there, and he did not show any kind of speed at Homestead. I mean, this weekend so far.
Yeah, well, Keselowski, what
Um,
fuck what was I gonna say? He had what was it like he was like 19 points ahead like going into Phoenix. So I mean the fact that he was close to losing it I think says a lot.
yeah, yeah, and he was. I don't know. He had a good run in 2015 at Homestead, and then late race caution came out to give Kyle Busch a chance at winning it because God forbid anyone other than those four win it, but. I don't see him. He doesn't have the mile and a half speed. But then again, like it's so much of that stuff's irrelevant. I mean, the entire first 35 races are irrelevant at this point. So I don't know what good it does to forecast any kind of race outcome. It's going to be a shit show. It always is. So
And all right, well, part of me is still kind of blown away by the fact that Truex and Keselowski now have an equal amount of points.
yeah, yeah. I think Keselowski would have been like fourth, probably maybe even third by this point because Larson's had so many fucking terrible runs. But he would still be well behind Truex in a points format. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, so
I'm gonna make my prediction here. I think it's gonna be Kyle Busch again. I think he's just good at Homestead. He knows how to
yeah,
close out races, and I think he's been just as good, if not even maybe a little bit better than Truex in the second half of the year.
yeah. If I had to pick somebody, I'd probably pick Harvick, just because out of he's faster than Keselowski, and aside from Brad, I think Harvick is the best at like maximizing his opportunities or capitalizing on them. I think Truex and Kyle Busch kind of choke a lot under pressure, but Harvick typically doesn't. Um, and he's won at Homestead before, and he had a lot of speed at Texas, so that makes me think they've kind of saved something.
Yeah, but these are, but Texas and Homestead aren't exactly similar configurations, even though they're mile and a halves.
No, I know, but just the fact that I didn't expect him to be fast at Texas at all. He went out and won it, so it makes me think they've got a little bit up their sleeve. But, I'd be okay with Brad or Harvick winning. I don't want to see Truex win, or definitely not Kyle Busch. It's just, I hate this, man. I'm tired of this format. I was tired of it in 2014.
Yeah,
So I
I was
really, really do want it to be just a dramatic, unequivocal failure, so that NASCAR has to do a lot of introspection and maybe even fire some people or something like that, or force some resignations. Because I mean, we documented with the viewership, like their ratings are dwindling, if
yep.
not downright, precipitating, like,
And
or
the only thing
evaporating. Excuse me, like,
and it would probably be a lot lower if it wasn't Dale Jr.'s last season.
right. I mean, they can't sustain these kind of losses year in and year out. I mean, NASCAR will be dead in 5 years if they try to keep going like this.
Maybe even shorter than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's there's going to be a point where like the Daytona 500 is like on Fox Sports 2, like they're headed in that direction. I
Oh
mean,
God.
or it's going to be like on the Speed Channel reruns at 3 in the morning. So they need to figure something out.
No, I don't know if there's much they can do. That's the thing.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
there's
know.
there's a lot they'd have to change, and I don't see them having the will or the desire to do it.
Maybe less Danica Patrick next year will be a good start. God, you heard what she's doing for next year, right?
Yeah, she's trying to run
So there's not,
Daytona 500 and the Indy 500,
and that'll
which
be it. Yeah.
I hope she doesn't get a ride in either of them, because I want to stop hearing about her. She hasn't done a goddamn thing in her career in NASCAR, and I'm sick of people talking about it. Sick of people saying like she has a legacy. She's like she's finished sixth. Like, that's her legacy. Her best finish was sixth.
She
Meanwhile,
got a
every one of her teammates was winning.
she got a fourth place finish in the nation, and it was called the Nationwide Series back in
Yeah, well, even that
2011.
that's I mean, yeah, but a fourth in nationwide or Xfinity is like 15th in Cup. I mean, it's just I'm tired of it. I really hope that we never have to hear about her after this season, because she doesn't deserve any of the attention.
Yeah, yeah, it's probably not going to be that way. She's probably going to just because there's some appeal to Danica Patrick. I wouldn't be surprised if she did get a ride for Daytona. I doubt she'll get a ride for Indy.
Yeah, I don't know who the hell's gonna get like I I don't know why people would offer her a ride for Indy. I mean, she has like no talent. Um,
It's been fun.
my
What?
worst fear, really, my worst fear is her getting a job in one of the broadcasting booths.
Oh my God, that would be the
Having
worst thing
to
ever.
have to listen to her, for 15 races a season.
She'll probably get a job in the Xfinity booth. That's my prediction.
Then I'll just stop watching Xfinity,
Nobody
or just
watches
watch it on mute.
Nobody cares for Xfinity to begin with.
Yeah. Speaking of which, rooting for Daniel Hemrick there.
Really?
I want him to win the championship without winning the race. So that
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
think.
basically the first driver in the history of motorsports to be a champion with zero career wins.
Yeah. Well, I'll cheer for Dale Jr. just to win it for at Homestead, just because I want to see
Yeah,
how
me too.
pathetic NASCAR would be to rig it in his
Yeah.
favor, just for the hell of it. Be like, well, if NASCAR has to tank for if I want NASCAR to tank early, it would be Dale Jr. winning it, just because it would kind of prove that there's some
Mm,
as
I don't know. I mean, if anything, I think they're going to rig it against him, because NASCAR's fucked him over so many times. it's pretty clear they don't actually care that he's the fan favorite. Like Talladega 2015 is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Um, and just the list goes on and on. So I'd actually love to see him win, but I think it's pretty unlikely. But
F but I don't know. I don't know. Part of me does still want. I mean, again, I hope it's Harvick that wins it because I fucking hate Kyle Busch. I really just want to see Truex fail because it would again it would bring it into the system early, this horrible playoff system. Or it wouldn't. There's no guarantee that it would, but it would most likely would. I don't really care much for Keselowski. In fact, I'm still mad at him for Texas in 2014. And I kind of hate Kevin Harvick. I think he's a punk. So, you know. Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
he is.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I wish there was a way for all of them to lose
I
and
know.
just no one be a champion this year.
Yeah,
That's what
but
I wanted last year too. But
yeah, but whatever. Like if it's Kevin Harvick, the punk, I'll take it just because he's the least despicable, I guess, out of everybody else. I would have been okay with Hamlin up until he decided to dump Chase Elliott.
yep, yeah, I was kind of. I mean, admittedly, I didn't really care too much about Chase Elliott getting wrecked because I did. I figured something like that had to happen because it just always does. Was really just like fulfilling a prophecy of sorts that Chase Elliott isn't going to win a race until probably like halfway through next season.
Halfway through 2020,
Yeah, he's going to have like 15 second place finishes by that time.
25. How many?
Yeah,
I have
but
to. He has had 5 seconds. Oh, sorry, 4 second place finishes this entire chase.
yeah.
Five,
Yeah. Well,
five this year if you include the June Michigan race. We'll wait for it to happen again.
yeah. I don't know. I don't think he really does that well at Homestead historically, but well, historically he's only had like one race, but
Yeah.
still.
Fuck NASCAR right now. Just fuck it and everything it stands for. Well, not
Yeah.
everything it stands for, but just well, fuck everything Brian France stands for. How about that?
Yeah. I mean there will certainly be some very righteous indignation and a lot of incredibly visceral outrage if something happens to Truex. Especially like it's one thing if he just like finishes second to somebody, but like if he cuts a tire while he's leading or has an engine failure, I mean, how do they spin that?
Yeah, that
So
happened to Bill Elliott in 2003 at Homestead. He was leading on the
yeah,
last lap, then he cut
Bobby
a
the Body
tire.
won it.
Yeah.
The last race before the chase ever existed.
What good times those must have been.
You know, I don't know. I think
Think,
a lot of the diehard fans have kind of like they stopped watching and they're being replaced by teenage kids who don't understand much about racing. And that's who this really appeals to because those are the people that are defending this format by and large are like, 13-year olds.
probably don't know anything about, probably couldn't name any driver from the 80s.
Yeah. I mean, they get Dale Earnhardt and that would be it.
They
But
probably
yeah,
don't know. Yeah, you show them a picture of Bobby Allison and they'll be like, who the hell is that?
yeah.
Show them a picture of Cale Yarborough again. Who the hell is that?
Or Daryl Waltrip. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know if I can even watch next year. Like, I thought I could somewhat tolerate it this year, but, like, part of me is just more disgusted this year than where I was last year.
Yeah.
Honestly, this whole stage is, I mean, initially I was okay with it, but right now I'm just getting irritated with them.
Yeah, say, I mean, I'm hoping Brian France has like a road to Damascus moment. Just like, Bill France appears to him as an apparition. It's like, why are you persecuting NASCAR? And then he decides to go back to like the Winston Cup format.
Yeah,
But that's not going to happen.
yeah. Either his grandfather or his father appears to him in some kind of dream. I don't know. I just
Yeah, I mean, knowing Brian France, like if Homestead goes poorly, he's gonna do something to make it worse, guaranteed. Because he's never improved it. So it's
uh,
I
yeah.
don't know. I don't even know what else to say. I mean, I'm dreading Sunday.
We know it's not going to be fun.
Yeah,
I don't know. Part of me still wants to believe that there's something that can be salvaged, but like, I believe that the sport could be salvaged last year, like when we were complaining about the chase in 2016. But I gotta say, like, I don't know if I believe it anymore. It's just hard.
yeah. I'm hoping for like sort of an IndyCar kart kind of split. The drivers like unionize or something and form their own organization.
And just yeah, make a better organization. Oh yeah, that's the thing. It would be unfortunate to kind of split it up to break the organization, but sometimes it might be necessary.
Yeah,
Something's got to happen. All right. I think I've said all I needed to say.
yeah.
All right. All right. Now let's bring it into yet another awful year. All right. And shoot, hold on. Having some issues trying to end the broadcast. There we go.